I fell in love with Kabalevsky at a young age. My father was in the military, in the armed forces, and we moved around a lot. And we ended up in the Midwest, and I was 11 years old, having had 3 or 4 piano teachers by that stage, and actually fallen out with one of them, so not even playing for 2 years. And when we ended up in Springfield, Missouri, I did start back at the piano, and she gave me this set of pieces by Kabalevsky. This is his variations on a Ukrainian folk song. And then the variations go on and become a bit more technical. And at the time, I was an American living in the Midwest in the Cold War. And this was a Soviet composer. And not only a Soviet composer, but one who was very much part of the establishment and promoted social realism in his music. So looking back, it was sort of a juxtaposition of different things at the time. But I liked the freshness of Kabalevsky's music. I liked the charm. I liked his use of rhythm and the sounds that I could create in the music itself. So I came to it as a child, but then as a student, I learned some of his bigger pieces, the sonata in F major and other works. And I've always admired his work and what he can say through music. He uses a lot of folk melodies in his music, but another thing that he does really, really nicely is incorporate unique Russian sounds. So for example, there's a lot of influence from the Russian Orthodox Church and from the chant, and the Zomany chant, which uses a low bass. So for example, the opening of his recitative and rondo, Opus 84, which is quite an advanced piece, opens very, very simply, and you can almost hear a male voice singing it in an empty church. It's hugely atmospheric. And then the rondo comes in, which is very exciting. One of the exciting things about this project has been discovering Kabalevsky's Opus 1. I couldn't believe it when I found it, actually, and it's quite tricky to discover. But anyway, when you hear this piece, you have to remember that he was a 21-year-old studying composition with Myaskovsky at the Moscow Conservatory, and it might have been a set piece that he was told to write in October 1925, I don't know. But you can hear Scriabin in it. You can hear his teenage studies at the Scriabin Musical Institute. You can hear his exploration of harmonies and sounds and colors. And it's beautiful. I think it's extraordinary composition. As a lot of people think, oh, children's pieces, I can't be bothered. And I wish they weren't called children's pieces, because I think it takes a very good composer to compose good stuff at a simple level. You have to really know how to go about composing. So for example, one of the pieces that's fun to play, and I'll just play a bit of it for you, it's very clever as well. That's the clowns from Opus 39, and you can see clowns. You know, he's going back and forth between major and minor, which is another one of the things he likes to do, and he's playing with the audience, and he's making it fun for the children, but also it's a great little concert piece. And he also wrote the Toccatina, which uses some parallel chords, another device that Kabalevsky is famous for. And of course, he's trying to teach parallel chords and a light wrist action and a lovely lyrical melody in one hand. So there's teaching things there. But as a piece, it's beautifully constructed, and it's been great fun to learn. So I would encourage any pianist, whether they're young or old, to forget about them being called children's pieces and look at them for what they are. Wonderful music.